Alright guys, I've been having some problems with my zero-turn mower. This is my Toro Z5030 right here, and I've had it since 2009 and it's 2023 right now. So what I've been experiencing is over the last couple years it's been hard to start. I would have to do my ignition key back and forth, and it almost seems like the flywheel is not spinning, and if it does, it's very weak. So we're going to troubleshoot some of this, and I'll explain some of the actions that I've taken to try and fix this problem and what I think is going on. When I try to start this, it sounds like this. All you're hearing is a click and a little whine. Every time that I engage the starter, it would stick in the start position, and so I didn't know this, so the whole time I was mowing, it was starting. And so I think I burned out my starter, I'm not sure. So I knew I needed to replace my starter, so I did that already, and I know that works. We also need to check our battery. And I hooked up my digital multimeter right here for you to see. We're gonna check to make sure that there is a charge. And so right now it's about 12.44, so 12.5, which is good. The last time I checked my battery, it was only 9 volts, so I knew I needed to change my battery. The additional thing that I did was this solenoid. I did a continuity test, and I found out that there was no power coming from the battery out to the starter, so this side was bad, so I replaced this, so I know that's good. The only other thing I can think is it might be the starter, so let's make sure that there's power coming from the solenoid to the starter right here. So I'm going to put this on continuity. I'm going to take one lead and touch it here, and then I'm going to take my other lead and place it on the end, the power on the starter. And it goes all the way down to almost 0. So it starts at 1 and goes to 0-ish. So I know that there's power being supplied from the solenoid to the starter. So let's take this cover off and see what's going on with the starter. And we're not going to take the whole cover off. I've loosened it enough just so I could lift this side up and expose the starter. And it looks like, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this part of the starter here is trying to engage with the flywheel, and it's stuck in the up position, and I see a loose spring. And there is also a black cap that goes on top of this, so I'm not sure what happened to it, but we're going to change it out and see if the new starter works. But first, let's go ahead and disconnect our battery. All right. So you can see how the top part of the starter is in the up position. It's actually supposed to be down, and when you start it, it pops up and tries to engage in these grooves right here in the flywheel. So I'm pretty sure this is not good. So when you order one, make sure and get this part number off of here, 3209808. And if you do a search on the web, you'll come up with something that's a good replacement for yours. In this case, I found one already. Let's take a look at it. So this is the new one, and this is the old one. So you always want to match it up to make sure that it's the right part. And as you can see, the cap is gone here and the spring is gone. And so when you order it, make sure that you order one that looks similar. That's going to work. I guess this is how it should be. You can see it's got the power supply down here, and we know, or I'm pretty sure this is going to work for a replacement.
Get it started. I'm going to put this one back in.
And that should be it. Turn the power on. And yep, it goes down to 1 or 0.001. So power's being supplied appropriately. And I am just going to put this on over the top. I don't want to secure it because if it's not working right, I don't want to have to unscrew it. But let's see if this works. I don't consider myself a maintenance guy, but I tell you what, you'll learn to be really handy with your equipment, because if you can replace parts, you save yourself a lot of money. It is frustrating though, especially when you're troubleshooting, but in this case, this worked out perfectly. I'm so happy now I can get back to cutting all of this. Of course, the tractor does a lot of this, but there's places where I can't take the tractor, so this old beat up machine right here, I'll keep it going as long as I can.